I've been following this case for over a year now. Leaked phone calls, tapes, and the possible mafia organization. Salvatore, Giovanni, La Padrona, Vlad. Those names, they keep popping up everywhere. So much evidence was just left behind, and yet I cannot find a single possible conclusion for this case. I don't care if the trail has gone cold for a while now. I will not rest until I get some answers. I won't stop until I will know what happened to the Italian heist. Hey guys, I'm back. So, a quick backstory first, to get you up to speed. Back in November 2019, Overkill decided to bring back development to Payday 2 after a certain amount of failures, let's just say. And they decided to do so by releasing new DLCs, which would take place before the White House heist, and they will all be canon friendly. So they started this new story with border crossing by sending a new crew to Mexico to basically mess up with murky water while the main crew was busy with baying. I'm not here to discuss the lore. If you want to check that out, I already made a pretty extensive video a while back. Link up here or there, I have no idea. It's my first time on camera. Dear God, help me. I want to focus on some interesting conversations that you can get if you manage to do the first half of the heist on stealth. That sounds like I farted, but it's the chair, I swear. What's interesting to me is that if you finish the first half of this heist on stealth, you can find an Italian man inside of a hangar, Salvatore. And Salvatore is having a conversation with another Italian man, Giovanni. And the two of them are discussing some really interesting details about the main lore of what's happening in the US, with also some filler content like how shit the Mexican food is to them.
Il cibo è una merda.
Questo piatto assaggia come un pezzo di merda.
I want to focus specifically on 3 of these conversations because I believe they go into detail of some important story elements. Here's the first one.
Giovanni, come va con le altre cose?
Salvatore, quali altre cose?
Beh, il Big Bang nel mare, no?
Non parlarne, stronzo!
Che? Chi ascolterebbe qui? I serpenti a sonagli?
I messicani, non fare l'idiota. La padrona non è misericordiosa con gli idioti.
Ma i messicani non capiscono l'italiano.
Sì, ho capito, ma non ci scommettere la vita su questo, Salvatore.
So this dialogue basically confirms that the nuclear explosion that happened in the South Pacific was the dentist doing. Why he did that, it's still very much uncertain. At least it is to me. Interestingly though, they mention a certain padrona, which means mistress, a person which would not be very happy if the word got out. Her identity is never revealed to us, but it really seems they wanted to build on this character for a potential reveal. Kind of the same of what they're doing right now in the Golden Dagger campaign with this mafia, yakuza boss of some kind, except that she does sound a little bit more interesting than a guy who just plasters his face like my uncle when he takes a picture on Facebook. Anyway, let's not get distracted here. Next phone call.
Giovanni, sono preoccupato. Sai che fine ha fatto il russo?
Ma quale russo, Salvatore?
Sai di che sto parlando, dai?
E allora non è russo, e tu sei uno stronzo.
Ah, russo, marziano, non me ne frega un cazzo. Tu hai notizie, sai dove è finito?
Stiamo provando a contattarlo, ma niente proprio.
E l'altro slavo che fine ha fatto?
Quello non sta collaborando, abbiamo provato di tutto, ma non cede.
Forse non siete stati abbastanza convincenti con lui, mammolette.
Salvatore, credimi, non siamo stati gentili. Il problema è che lui è un rompicoglioni, è molto duro.
So I will go into huge details about the lore over here. So if you have no idea what the fuck am I talking about, you kind of need to go back and check some lore videos, because it's gonna get fucking confusing. So obviously they're talking about Vlad, as we'll see soon with another recording. What's interesting here is that this 100% confirmed that Vlad was somehow working with Hellman, the dentist, because he was the one that sold him the nukes, which are the same nukes that we stole as the Payday crew from the Meltdown heist, which can be found in Hell's Island, the place where we saved Bane, which we know for sure that the dentist was there. This also explains why Hellman was able to give away Vlad's location with the Kozak's bakery to the journalist, because they were in communication, so perhaps he went there to pick up the nukes or just to have a transaction of some kind.
There's a bakery you should visit, Kozak's. They make excellent pastries. You might find what you're looking for there.
Wait, Dr. Hellman?
So of course we have the whole theory where Vlad is possibly one of the four kings. So maybe he was just working with the dentist, which is definitely one of the kings, just to get to the Ark of the Watcher, to maybe just swipe him at the very end. Which, if this is true, then it means that his brother-in-law, Hadruding, would be his watcher, because, as we know, every king has a watcher. Yes, Hadruding would be somebody like in a mythological thing, a guy which constantly gets drunk, crashed a plane, lost a bunch of coke in the woods, got drunk in a mall and got arrested, and crashed his car in front of a fucking Mexican bank. Payday lore, I guess. Next call.
Giovanni, devo dirti una cosa. Non mi piace portare così tanti bagagli.
Cosa intendi?
Il dentista, Kento, sono troppa compagnia, se fosse solo le mecce.
Vero è, ma la missione è comunque importante.
È vero, ma non mi piace.
Il dentista e Kento hanno bisogno di un posto sicuro, lontano dagli Stati Uniti.
E lo avranno. Li porterò.
So this is the most important phone call of them all, because it basically confirms that the same aircraft that we steal at the end of Border Crossing would have been the same aircraft that would have taken Kento and the dentist across the Pacific, as heard on this small snippet of a phone call.
Attraverseranno l'Atlantico come Colombo.
Ma nella direzione opposta.
And not only would have transported them both, but it also had some unknown goods. Another clue that we can find is that in front of Salvatore there are two fake Italian passports, one for Kento and one for the dentist. And the funny thing is that they both have Savoca as their birthplace, which is a really small village in Sicily, in Italy. So if this is not some kind of hint of a heist taking place in Sicily, I don't know, it seems extremely specific. Hey, post-recording Pannox here. So actually I think they wrote down Savoca because it was the city where they shot some scenes out of The Godfather. So maybe it was just like a small Easter egg. But anyway, Kento and the dentist still had to go to Italy, so everything I say still stands. Alright, back to the video. Perhaps it could be the location of La Padrona, the mistress. Maybe she has like a beautiful mansion and we need to go in and steal some shit. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, definitely not like giving hints that this would be pretty cool. And I understand that canonically this whole plan failed because we stole the aircraft, and canonically Salvatore is dead, as we'll see very soon. But am I seriously led to believe that they couldn't afford another plane with all the money and resources they have? Well, I understand about Kento because, I mean, Bane kind of snapped his neck like a fucking pretzel, so that probably got into the way of escaping. Anyway, 3 months after Border Crossing, we received the sequel of this Mexican story with San Martin Bank. Again, not gonna go too much into detail about everything, but here, inside one of the safe boxes, we find a tape recorder. And Vlad just wants us to destroy this, so he really doesn't want us to know what does it say. But we still listen to what does it say, and here it is.
Hello, Dad. Status, please. What status? You were supposed to take care of things. Will you still deliver what was promised? The mistress say yes, but only if you clean the mess you have created. Okay. I create nothing. Your man, Salvatore, he was a fucking moron. From what I heard, well, he's dead now. That is on you. Your responsibility. And the dentist. Hey! Laugh on cooler, whatever you say. Go speak to him yourself. Stop calling Vlad about this shit!
And this is the confirmation that I was mentioning earlier, that Vlad was in contact with the mistress to receive some goods. So we don't know what Vlad actually wanted delivered to him. But it seems that the gang stealing the plane and getting Salvatore killed, it was the last straw that broke the camel's back between him and the dentist, as he doesn't even want to speak to him anymore. And since in the briefing it mentions that us stealing the plane affected Vlad as well, there's a really good chance that whatever good was in that plane, it was the same goods that Vlad wanted delivered to him. So at this point of the story, we have a lot of questions. Who is this Padrona? What is the deal between Vlad and the dentist? What are these goods that Vlad really desperately wanted? And what is the mistress and all of her gang of mobsters gonna do next? Nothing. We received no answers from no one. 3 months later, and we received the third part of this Mexican heist with Breakfast in Tijuana, which saw us breaking out Hajrudin, Vlad's brother-in-law, and there were no clues whatsoever to this whole case. 4 months after this one again, the Silk Road finale with Bullock's Mansion, which saw us sticking down this Mexican mobster guy, Bullock, which, I mean, it was pretty cool. I liked the heist a lot, but it had almost zero connections to the story that we were following. And there were no talk about this mistress, the dentist, anybody, even though Vlad was present for most of the heist, which is why? You know, at this point I half expected them just to kind of build up something for the next set of heist. I was like, okay, maybe this is the Mexican side, so they're gonna concentrate mostly on the Mexico, and then on the next one we're gonna get some really cool Italian vibe, you know? No, we go to San Francisco, fighting against some Chinese mafia or something. What? Okay. Right now we are currently 3 out of the 4 heists in this Chinese side story. I gotta say, not very good or interesting, personally. The last one was pretty cool with the casino on the yacht, but that's it, really. I think the main problem is just like this story is not even connected to the main lore. And some of it doesn't even make any sense. Like, you have Vlad getting captured and he almost dies, and then at the same time he's busy with the other crew in Mexico with all of this stuff. Like, where does it connect? Where's the timeline? Anyway, I am not giving up on all of this foreshadowing. As we see in the ending, the official ending with the offshore Payday, Vlad is still in contact with somebody and still keeping an eye out on the gang.
Да, да я, ага. Нормально, блядь. Ага, нормально, не беспокойся. Я тебе скажу, когда что-нибудь поменяется. Ну давай, ладно. You guys know fun.
Fuck you!
Yeah, I know technically he's speaking Ukrainian, but, you know, maybe it was just a way to not make the gang understand what he was talking about. But he mentions about keeping an eye out on them, so maybe, I know that's a bit of a reach. But with Payday 3 on the horizon, they have a chance to do something more different. For example, this mistress, the Padrona, could come as a contractor after, you know, oh, you messed up with me, now you work for me, you know, some deal like that. Or they could go back into it and maybe she messes up with the Payday gang, so we have to mess with her. Maybe we go to Italy, we steal from her into her beautiful mansion. Maybe she has some kind of a private museum like every Italian mobster has, apparently, according to John Wick 2. Because right now the only thing that we know from Payday 3 is that, the beginning at least, it's gonna take place in New York. Which is a step in the right direction. We haven't truly seen a New York heist. Yeah, okay, we had Brooklyn 1010, but not gonna lie to you, that's not very good, sorry. But basically this whole point is, like, I want to see more heists outside of the US. It would be awesome for them to just come to Europe, go to the UK, go to India, Asia, Japan. It legitimately could be interesting and like have all these different locations. And I know it's hard because we've seen it with the Russian and the Mexican heist. Well, Russians, there's only like one. Anyway, we've seen it that they have to risk, you know, the police officer, the special units, giving it new voice lines, and it's a lot of work. but it's really worth it because it gives personality to the heist, in my opinion at least. So what I'm saying is that Italy would make a great landscape for a heist in Payday 3. And I'm not saying it because I'm Italian and I'm biased. Okay, maybe I am. But think about it, alright? Just imagine us walking around the small Italian villages, perhaps infiltrating the mistress mansion with all these beautiful paintings and artifacts and statues, stealing as much as possible, running on the rooftops at night with this beautiful coastline present to us and escaping on a boat and having maybe like a boat chase or something. You know, Overkill, I'm free. Just saying. So this is basically all I wanted to bring. Unfortunately, on my script I just wrote outro, so I have no idea what the fuck to say at this point. So all I want to say is like, I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching. And I hope you had good holidays and, you know, Happy New Year. And hope this one is gonna be a good one. Goodbye.